Models, if you've ever had somebody reach out to you directly requesting you for a shoot, you've probably made a mistake, lost money, and didn't even know it. But wait, can a model actually negotiate their rate? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, we can negotiate our rates. Why should you care about negotiating your rates as a model? Well, let's look at it. There's kind of three key ways this plays out. You have how much you work here, you have how much you get paid here. If you work less, but you negotiate higher rates on your jobs, then you keep the same pay. Let's say this is where you're at. You work this much, you get paid this much right now. If you can negotiate, you can work less and get paid the same. That's buying back your time. That's a fantastic thing. Time's the ultimate resource. Next option, you can work the same amount you've been working, but you get paid more. Now you have resources. You have way more resources, and your resource reach has been growing, right? Third option, you work more and you earn way more. You're on your way to FU money, if you get what I'm saying. That's why you should care about negotiating your rates and how to go about doing it. Now, if you aren't already in the community, the Pose to Profit community, you want to come join us at school.com/pose to profit. That's school with a K. School.com/pose to profit. You get courses, lessons, things like this, a lot more in depth, as well as cheat sheets, little scripts, for example, of some of the stuff we're going to cover in this negotiation. There's going to be detailed scripts in there that you can have access to, as well as one-on-one time with a lot of experts in here, and get all of your questions answered by a community of people. Before we get started in this, save yourself some time. If you're understanding me perfectly and you're like, oh, come on, get to it, bump the rate of this video up to 1.5x or 2x to save yourself some time and really get moving. We're all about action, and I want to respect your time, so let's get to it. Now, you need to know your role as a model, right? We need to know I am the model. I have an agent. My agent is working really hard for me and they're doing the best they can. So you need to honor your relationships, your relationship with the agent and everybody else you come in contact with. If you're in the school community, I already know you're that type of person, but other folks might have eyes on this video, and you need to know that if you aren't doing it already, now's the time to start respecting your relationships, especially your agent. Now, if somebody they have direct outreach to you, that's going to be where somebody, let's say they DM you on social media, hey, we have this shoot, we love your look, we'd love to work with you, are you interested, or whatever. Most people, most models who've been doing this, they have this occur at one point or another, and they do one of a few things. They book a shoot secretly, and if you're signed with an agency, they don't tell their agent and hope that their agency doesn't find out that they booked a shoot and got paid without the agency being involved. That's a big no-no. Another option is they get that outreach. Somebody's like, hey, we want to book you. We want to work with you. And they go, oh, great. Hey, here's my agent. Right. And they do this thing. They pass that whole interaction off to their agent. Third option is they go, oh my gosh, yes, this is great. I got to shoot. Somebody wants to work with me. I'm in. And they say, yes, I'll do it, which I think is a big mistake. And I'll get to why that is. Knowing your role and where you are changes the game of how you negotiate your rate. Now, if you have direct request, the ball is in your court. The power is in your hands. Anytime I get a direct request, I'm like, oh, let's go, baby. Negotiations are on. And I get so excited because this is the start of where we get to go, how much money do I want to earn on this job? And it's a fun game to play. If you learn, the better you get at negotiation, the more fun it is. And if you negotiate with a good heart, the goal for me always in business, I want everybody to win. That's why this community is the way it is. The culture of this is everybody can win, and we should win. It's not kill, grind to the ground, let me take all your money. That's no fun. And especially in a long game, you're trying to play this game for a long time. So when you have direct request, you have the power, and this is go time for you. You should be thinking green light, green light, green light. That's going to be different than if you have an audition request or you auditioned and you got a role. It's a different play that you want to play there. All right. This, for the sake of time and for the sake of this video, we're only going to be focusing on, I'll cover a little bit on the audition side, but we're really going to focus on the direct outreach when somebody reaches out to you directly rather than you having to audition for a role. Now, auditioning, just to kind of breeze over this, you can negotiate your rates here. You just kind of want to pick your battles. You don't want to go every audition that I have or that I land, I'm going to battle for a higher rate. That's not, I wouldn't say that's best practices in my experience. You want to pick your battles though, in certain clients, certain instances, you'll know, you'll just have, you'll develop a sense to where you go, oh yeah, this is one I could negotiate with them and that sort of thing. Make sure you have a good reason for your negotiation. You want to negotiate, maybe there's travel, there's time, or a good reason. Maybe one good thing here is if you have a competing job, they might say, hey, are you available for this? And you nailed the audition, they want to book you, and you can go, okay, you want to book me for $1,000. I have a pending job for $2,000 on the same day. It shoots the same day. This is a good time for you to use that in your negotiation. Yes, this was an audition, but they've expressed they want to book you. And you can say, hey, your $1,000, okay, but like I might have this $2,000 thing. You can use that chat, even relay to your agent. If you're not with an agent, do it yourself. Say, hey, look, I have another job. The pay on that is $2,000 for that day. It's pending. And I'd love to work with you guys, but if you can get closer to that number, write that down, by the way, that's literal verbiage. If you can get closer to this number to where I can give you a confirmation right now, I would love to make this happen. That's where you want to have a good reason. You don't want to just be BSing people out there because it gets played out, especially if you are lying. If you have legitimate reasons, this has happened plenty of times. Hey, I'd love to work with you guys. I know you want to confirm they're pending. This job pays more. Can you get closer to that? And they're like, oh, yeah, if we can confirm you right away, we'll give you this. I'm like, done. Could be that easy. Sometimes you have a little bit more back and forth, but that's that. Now, if you want to learn more, again, exactly like scripts, literally, hey, here's the play if it's an audition or if it's a direct outreach or where you are in the negotiation. If you want these scripts, come join the community. If you're not in it already, come join the Pose to Profit community. We have resources like this. We have other industry experts that can give you their 2 cents and kind of a nice little adjustment, their experience on the same scenarios you're going to be going through. Now, direct outreach, direct request. There's a playbook to this. Again, this is like when this happens, this is like the most exciting moment for me, for a model having this like, okay, I'm working on rates and the situation. What am I going to get paid for this job? This is like the moment direct outreach comes, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. Let's get in the game, right? Here's how it goes. You want to get the job details from this person. So, hey, so and so, we're interested. You have a great look, or we love your page. We whatever it is, we're interested in shooting with you, working with you, whatever they word it. And we'd love to know, would you be interested? This is our kind of product, our brand. Check our page out. Whatever, the shoot is on this date. So you want to make sure you get the details of the shoot. You want to go, okay, who is the client? What's the role that I'd be shooting in? Maybe you're like, I love that you reached out directly for me to be a ballet dancer, but for one, I've never danced ballet or any other style dance in my life, and two, I'm not graceful at all. I would be a horrible fit for your product, and three, I don't want that to be part of my portfolio, my persona, my brand that's even out there in the ether. Maybe that's you, who knows? But you want to know who you're working with and what role they would have you in. That's kind of a key thing before you get to like, yeah, I'm down. Let me shoot with you. Get the shoot length, the date, the location, things like that. You want to get those details. Big one, you want to get the usage. You know, if you've been modeling, you know usage and your terms and things like this. How long are you guys going to use this image? Where is it going to live? Is it above the line, below the line? Is it going to be web only? Is it going to be, live? You never want to see perpetuity on there. I don't take things that are in perpetuity. We'll get into that a different day. So you get the details. Oh, this sounds interesting. Hey, shoot me over the details. Let me look it over. Great. Then you want to express interest. They give you the details on the shoot, and you want to go, oh man, like literally, this is, you can write this down. This is what I say. Wow, this sounds like a great project, or holy smokes, this sounds like a fun shoot, a fun project, whatever it is. Express interest in it. Okay. You want to do that at this phase. And then when you get to, oh, we're going to start getting into numbers, negotiation 101, get them to give a number first. You do not want to be the first one to throw a number out there, especially if you have a direct request. Do not give a number first. Don't do it. Now, how do you go about getting a number first? if you're not a pro at negotiation. Well, luckily we have scripts for that. And luckily I'm going to give you a little bit of that action right now. So you get them to get a number first. You might be like, well, okay, I got their number, but the reason you want them to give a number first is for one, you can go, oh man, this is miserable. There's no way I would do this shoot. Or you're like, oh baby, they gave me the number. I'm fired up. I'm absolutely in for the shoot. Then you know that the number they gave is the bare, that's the floor. That's the bottom that you could possibly get for this shoot because you can negotiate with it. And as long as you don't blow the negotiation up, you can get more. You can get paid more for that same job. So, how do you ask for the rate on the project, on the job? Don't go, hey man, how much are you paying? Don't do that. Write this down. Here's what I use every time. What are you budgeting for this role? That's it. Write that down. What you express interest, and then you right after that, you're like, man, this is so cool. What are you budgeting for this role? This is a very nice, a very professional way of asking, like, hey, what's the rate on this job? You got the details already. You got where it's going to live, all that good stuff. You got the usage. Now you get to how much are we talking here, right? What are you budgeting for this role? And now you have the lowest amount that they're going to pay for this job. It could only go up from here. They're not going to take money away from their offer right there. This is another one to write down. This is what I use. This is what I've used for years, and it has worked seamlessly for me. Ah, got it. I'd love to help bring the project to life, but I want to make sure we find a sweet spot where everyone is happy. How much flexibility do you have in the budget for this role? I'm going to say this again in case you didn't write it down and you just had this moment of like, oh man, that's good. I need to write it down. So you don't have to rewind the video. This is what you say. Ah, got it. I'd love to help bring the project to life, but I want to make sure we find a sweet spot where everyone is happy. How much flexibility do you have in the budget for this role? This is expressing interest to them. You've already been like, oh man, this is so cool. It sounds like a fun job. You've already done that. And then you come back and you do it again. Oh man, I would love to partake in this project. You're letting them know you are interested, that you are in for this project. You're down to shoot with them. There's just one part of this. You've got the terms of the shoot, you got usage, you got all that stuff, and everything sounds great except the rate. That's where we're not quite, right at that sweet spot where everybody is happy. This is letting them know in a nice way, in a professional way, hey, the amount you just gave me, it's not quite going to cut it. How much flexibility do you guys have? This is a wonderful way. This is a wonderful way for you as the model to go, is this a shoot that I would absolutely love to do? Maybe it's going to fill a hole in your portfolio to make you more marketable. And maybe the original rate they gave you is perfect, spot on. You'd love to do it, even at that rate. But let me tell you this. I had one of my dream shoots, like dream client, dream role in what I would be shooting and everything like this, a beautiful location, travel, all this stuff. So cool. The typical rate for this style shoot is about $1,200. All right. That's the typical rate for this style of shoot. If I sent this person when they reached out to me directly and they were like, hey, with so and so, one of the top 4 brands in the world in their industry, in their market, been around for decades. If they were like, hey, we're interested, we got your name from so and so, and we would love to shoot with you, direct outreach. Okay, man, it sounds cool. Here's my agent. I would have gotten like a $1,200 payday on that, which, I mean, that's not bad, especially if you're loving the work you're doing, right? But instead, I was like, oh, $1,200 is where they're at now. I would for sure do this for 1,200. But instead, what I did was I sent the counter, sent exactly what I did. Ah, got it. Would love to help out. This sounds great. I want to make sure everybody's happy here. How much flexibility do you have in the budget? This is the 4th largest brand in the world. At the time, I think it was top 3 at the time, but 4th largest in the world, been around for ages. I know they've got the money to bump it up a little bit for a little model. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a global thing that's going to go around. I left there making in a single day $5,000 to do what I absolutely loved to do. And I ended up booking multiple shoots after that because I crushed it, which we're going to get to in a moment as we do our review here. But again, when you just pass it off, when you just pass it to the agent. Oh, by the way, that's another key thing I left out here. Direct outreach, I do the negotiation. If you're horrible at negotiation, just pass it to your agent and connect them. Hey, so and so reached out to me. This sounds like an awesome shoot. I would love to do it. And what I've done in the past in these instances, before I really develop negotiation skills and my script here, I would say, hey, I would love to do this shoot. I don't know how much they're going to pay, but if it's anything over this amount, I'm in. You don't even need to reach out to me. And that let my agent know, like, okay, they'll do the negotiation, try to get things going. And sometimes I had shoots where it would work out well over that minimum rate, and I'm very happy. And other times my agent would call me and say, hey, they are saying this. It's a little bit below your rate. I know. And then I'll sit there and think about it and go, okay, it's going to be a dream shoot. I'll have a blast doing it. I'm not busy that day. I'm not booked. I don't have anything pending. I'll take it. Let's do it. Boom. Go do the shoot, whatever. Most times, though, most times pass it to the agent, give them the minimum, and they end up coming back. I mean, I have a killer set of agents, so that helps. But they come back actually getting me more money for the job, and that's fantastic. I didn't have to negotiate or struggle or lose the deal because I'm sucky at negotiation and I didn't have a script at the time. So if you're bad at it, if you don't have the script, just pass it off to your agent. All right. If you want to work on your negotiation skills, which I absolutely encourage you to do, because this is how I've been able to raise my rates year over year over year over year, and you should too. You can learn negotiation, you can use scripts, and then you'll start to develop the flow and things like this. When I negotiated that deal that got me like 5x what I originally would have paid, for a little over 4x what I originally would have got paid on that job, I negotiated the rate via email, exactly what I just gave you. I negotiated the rate. How flexible are you? Blah, blah, blah. And once we got to a number that I was like, oh, great, I love this. Then I said, hey, let me connect you with my agent to button everything up for the details on the shoot. I forward the whole email chain to my agent, call my agent the moment that I hit send on that, and I say, hey, you have, I actually have a line. You can take this line for yourself. Agents absolutely love this. This is my line. Hey, I'm sending you free money. That's my line. That's my opening line. I don't say, hello, hey, here's what's going on. I don't do anything. When they answer the phone, I go, hey, it's Anthony. I'm sending you free money. And then I get into the details. They love it. It's super fun. But I say, hey, I'm sending you free money. It's coming in your inbox right now. And I've already gone through the details and negotiated rate and all that stuff. I just need you to make sure everything looks good and buttoned up, and we're going to have a good payday. And they're like, awesome. I'll look out for it. Done. Now it's out of my hands, and I just got to get ready and go perform. Let's review. Let's review. This is a common scenario. You get direct outreach from social media or whatever. Very common scenario, especially if you've been modeling for some time. It's super common. If you experience this and you find success, please let me know. I love to celebrate other people's successes, because I'm only limited to celebrations on my own success this much, but I have infinite reach to people that I can help out or that I hear have wins, even if I didn't have anything to do with it. I get to celebrate you, and that means I get to have a lot more joy in my life. I'm all for that. So if something here just clicks for you, if you get success, send me screenshots, do whatever it is, a message. Just let me know your wins so I can celebrate, and you don't have to celebrate alone. I'm hoping for big wins for you. Now, to review here, this is just one scenario. There's other scenarios here, like what happens if they just won't give me a rate first? They keep asking for my rate. What do I do then? That's another scenario. There's many different scenarios. A lot of the most common ones fit into just a couple different scripts, and it's very easy, very simple to navigate when you have a script. So again, if you're not in the school community, come join us, the Pose to Profit, school.com/pose to profit. Now, to review here, number one, you get a direct request or an audition. Which way does it go? It's going to determine how you play the negotiation out. Number two, get your project details. Make sure that you're like, okay, what is this about? Who's the client? All that stuff, the usage, get your details. Number three, relationship first. You want to express excitement for the project. Let these people know they're the creatives. They're working on this thing. There's all these moving parts, and it started with just somebody's idea. Let them know that they have a good idea. This is really cool. Express that excitement for them. Number four, get the rate. Get the rate. How much are you budgeting for this role? Number five, ask, how flexible are you with the budget for this role, right? Sounds great. Again, express interest. I would love to do this. I just want to make sure that everybody is happy. How flexible are you with this budget, with the budget for this role? Excuse me. Don't go by what I just said, go by what I said earlier in the video because I literally read it word for word from how I have it scripted. And then after you ask the how flexible, then you land on that sweet spot, and now everybody's happy, and you're like, oh man, I'm getting paid way more than what I was originally or I would have otherwise been for this job. Number 7, this is arguably the most important part of this. Negotiating your rates and raising your rates, it all breaks down if you do not deliver an absolutely exceptional performance. Now, performance doesn't have to just mean your shots look good. That's one part of it. Make sure everybody on the shoot has a fantastic time working with you as well. Get to know people, get to encouraging other people, and maybe, work on your laughter. If you're not a funny person or you're like nervous of that, just work on connecting a little bit deeper. Let people feel your heart when they're working with you so that they don't feel like it's a miserable day at work. They feel like, man, it was so nice to work with that person. It was really, I don't know what it was about them. They just had this kind of a glow, their aura. We've all had that experience with people. Be that person on set. Make sure you deliver. Now, that's it for this video. Go out there, raise your rates, negotiate those rates, get your money up, get your time back, get your job rate, annual salary, pay, all the things to increase however you want. It just gives you the freedom to live your life the way that you want. Whether you want to work more and earn way more, work the same and earn more, work less and earn the same, whatever it is, it gives you the freedom to do all of those things. So get out there and do it. And until next time, I'll see you in the school community, Pose to Profit. I will see you on set.